highlighting the training you can get here at the East San Gabriel Valley ROPTC, the home of our studio.
Exactly, and so we have an instructor from the Criminal Justice Program, Calvin Blakely, with us today. And so can you actually become a police officer in the program, or tell me how the program works?
Well, the program was created to prepare students for law enforcement, not just a police officer, but any field within the criminal justice industry. You know, we train them to prepare them for, police jobs, testing, also criminal laws, the penal codes, and so on. But we also have a program where we teach them forensics, corrections, and also loss prevention.
That's incredible. Do you teach them that you have the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we teach. That's laws of arrest, of
There
course,
you go.
and we teach them like the minimum standards to be a peace officer. So what happens in that situation is that once the student goes into a formalized training program, police academies or whatever, they're like years ahead of their peers, and so that makes them a better student and also get higher scores on their academy testing.
And their testing, that's good. Now, there's a thing behind that, the whole legality side of why someone gets read their Miranda rights. Do they understand what they're, not just what they're saying, but the meaning behind it?
Oh yes, oh definitely, because you have to first of all understand the Peace Officer Bill of Rights, the U.S. Constitution. So we break all of that down too. That's part of the whole criminal justice program. Any of the curriculums have some type of history in them. So we even go back into the 1700s, talking about Sir Robert Peel, who also was responsible for the first metropolitan police department in America.
Wow, a lot of history there.
Yes, sir. So we teach the history, and then we teach them all the way up till today.
So how long is the program?
The program is probably about 6 to 7 months, depending on the hours. We have a 6-hour program, and we do have 2 4-hour blocks that we teach. So each module that the student teach has a 60 hours. So like in the 8 to 2:30, you can finish a module in 2 weeks.
Okay, and it's really reasonably priced too.
Yes, I think so. And what I try to tell students when they come in to sign up for the class is we're going to give you everything that you need to get where you need to get in your program.
Well, they get to kind of get a feel for it, to see if this is right for them.
Right.
Yeah, you're exactly right, sir. That's just what it does.
And it's a tough time to become a police officer too. So I would imagine you go through their own safety that they need to be aware of, and that sort of.
Yes. But then I'm glad you brought that up. We also offer other career programs. Like we have a 120-hour security program that they get certificates in. So we train them at the gun range. They shoot up to 3 to 4 calibers of weapons. They are trained on 3 different types of batons: the straight baton, the side handle baton, which is known as the monadnock, and also the collapsible baton.
So there's this new thing going on about the whole Black Lives Matter, and police have to worry about, they have to really think about before they discharge a weapon. And, I'm a little concerned about the safety for them and others, that are involved.
Well, there's a lot of controversy involved.
So,
right now.
I mean, do you touch on these subjects to really, bring it home that, an officer could lose their job by just making a bad decision?
Oh, yeah. Well, basically what happens is, in that case, is that we encourage students that officers have to stick more to what their policies tell them to do in terms of officer-involved shootings and so on. The liability side of it is that when a police officer discharges gun, on the tip of that bullet, wherever that projectile is going, that's the big L, which is liability. And a lot of people don't understand, when they see these crime scenes and they come out on the 11 o'clock news, and the body is still out there on the street, and the officers are running around door to doors and searching, they're looking for their projectiles, because it's important that they know what occurred, or what happened, and they didn't hit anything they weren't supposed to hit. So people don't understand there's a big responsibility behind that.
Oh yeah, that's part of that whole investigation.
But you know,
tough time
but
to be a police
today's
officer.
times, you know, is really tough. You know, I notice that, you know, I try to encourage more students to get into the law enforcement arena, but I think a lot of it is those are some of the concerns. But on the flip side, the police organizations makes it a little tougher as a result of some of the things that have came out, you know, with police officers, you know, involved in shootings and use of force and different things like that.
I'm always worried that an officer would make that decision maybe not to engage because of the liability situations that are going on, where a police officer would just kind of turn his head to say, yeah, you know, it's not as bad as it looks, you know.
Well, police officers definitely have to cover themselves at all times and, you know, stick to what their departmental policy and procedures tell them what they can and can't do. So what I don't want a police officer that's out there today is to be a little hesitant because of all the controversy going on there.
Right.
If you have to use deadly force, you have to use deadly force. You know, what the citizens don't understand is police officers aren't trained to wound. You know, they're trained to kill. When they shoot their firearms, they're trained to kill the.
Stop him in his tracks.
Yes.
Well,
And
it's
I
tremendous adrenaline that is
Yes.
surging through an individual too, just like when we're in the ER or when we're in the psych units and we have somebody acutely presented.
decisions.
Yes.
Split
Absolutely.
decisions.
Yeah, it's definitely a split
Err on the
second
side
decision.
of safety is what I say. So I'm,
So I you know, I've been a retired police officer for 5 years, and you know, my hats is off to my fellow brothers and sisters that's still
I'm
out
right
there,
there
because
with
it has changed a lot since I've been out there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
In fact, I noticed that NBC is going to be featuring positive policing stories, which I think is an important thing right now too, to recognize that we have good police officers doing good things.
and contrary to popular belief, there is a lot of very positive things going on out
Absolutely.
there with police
Absolutely.
officers and how they conduct
Absolutely.
themselves with citizens. And people have to understand that the whole culture of policing is changing, because it's no longer a us versus them type of thing that used to be projected, because law enforcement has evolved
Right,
over the years. And I showed them a timeline one time where on used to drive around in the 70s with helmets on, you know,
Right.
you know, riot helmets on.
Yeah.
But
We didn't have the cages or anything.
Yeah.
Calvin, thank you so much for being on the program
Appreciate you
today
being
and
here.
sharing about the
Oh,
program.
it was a
I think
pleasure.
It's a great value. Thank you.
You're welcome.
last week we told you what not to do about buying your first house. This week we're going to tell you what you need to do.
So our segment star, Celeste Sierra, will be on telling us what to do.
Retirement's getting closer and closer, but admit it, you're still putting off the planning, right? EH Financial can help you plan ahead to sustain your golden years. Our wealth management and financial planning services are growing in the San Gabriel Valley. And because everyone's situation is different, we'll come up with an investment, estate, or tax plan that works for you. Stop procrastinating. Call us today or visit our website, ehfinancial.com. Don't worry, we'll be there for you every step of the way.